Hello and welcome back to part 3 of this behind the scenes series. Today we're talking about money because the second course that I've relaunched is creating your own income pie. And I just wanted to talk through some of the checks and balances, I guess, that I've had through this process and really listening in to not only what my clients need and want, but also that sense of intuition. And I think with the internet being so busy and hectic and interesting and offering all of these solutions, there is a huge temptation sometimes to outsource all your knowledge or to keep asking people or to buy, and I get the irony of this, but like buy another course because you think that they might have the answer. And especially in my one-on-one clients, I'm always saying, what do you think? How does that feel? Is that something you would like to do? What's missing for you here? And we really get into the heart of what it is, because ultimately, even when people say, just do these 3 things and you will have these kind of results, I honestly don't get how people can say these things still, because everybody is starting from a different place. Everybody is bringing all sorts of different things to the table: circumstances, learning styles, personalities, goals. And we are not robots. We are not point and press people. We are very, very nuanced. And one of the things that came up for me a lot was this sense of what was maybe easy or easier, like just do this thing. Like if you say it's a formula or if you put this kind of title in it, that's way more appealing. But actually what I wanted to do was I wanted to give the client the discernment to do this in their own way. Because this is about you creating your own income pie that's based on your personality, your circumstances, your goals, and doing it in a way that feels great. And one thing that happened when I first started doing this work in 2012, 2013, I began to do a lot of seminars and workshops and online courses and working with coaches. And there was very much a way, I'm doing this in bunny ears, a way that you should do it, and you should do it this way if you wanted to be successful. I remember having a meeting with a potential coach that I wanted to work with, who asked me, and my son was about 6 months at the time. And at 6 months, I'd really hit a wall. I was absolutely exhausted. You know, I think there's a point, isn't there, when, like, I'm sure there's some medical evidence around this, where you're losing a lot of hormones and you don't quite have enough of the good stuff to, like, keep going at times. Anyway, I had a chat with this coach and he said, how early, what time does your child get up? And I took a pause and smiled and I said, well, for the day I would say like 5 o'clock. He's like, great. And I could see him processing this information, like already like, wow, 5 o'clock with a child, that's quite early. And then he then smiled back at me and he went, great, you then need to get up at 4. But what he didn't understand was that I had been up at 5 to 9, even though I'd settled him at 8:30. I'd been up at 10 past 10, 5 to midnight, 20 past 4, like 10 to 2, all of the times. And so the thought of getting up an hour early, I just thought this business model is not going to work for me. And it was at that time when I really started to consolidate what the podcast was going to be about, because that presumed formula was never going to work for me. And it's often not going to work for you because there are so many different elements to your life that the coach, the trainer, the teacher, the leader has no idea about. And there's not an opportunity to say. And I've also figured out over the last 23 years of doing this is if I offer things and I work in a way that feels really good, more money comes always, because it's an energy. Like it, if you wait ages for a bus and then two come at once, or once you start, I don't know, dating people, then suddenly you get loads more dates, or you get a job opportunity and you've waited ages and then two come at once. It's always that thing of when you're in the energy of that. I know what that feeling feels like. And I've also known those moments when over periods of time I've done jobs or created things that were either a stopgap or that I just wasn't working, not even at my best, because I would always give my best. Again, that's one of the things, isn't it? We're all programmed just to give your best. But I wasn't in alignment. And this is why in this course we don't just talk about money as being the only currency here. Yes, money is important. Of course it is. We need it to exist, to live. But there are many people out there in the world who pay for all sorts of things, not just the cheapest option. They're paying for convenience or an expert or being time efficient. And in the course, we really delve into all of your areas of success. And this is a conversation that I had with myself about my own coaching practice. Did I want to just do coaching? And it was a genuine question, because at times it made more sense to just do that, just do one thing. I mean, certainly capacity-wise, predictability-wise, just go all in. But my heart wasn't in that. My heart is in the coaching. But do I want to do it for 40, 50 hours a week and be the best that I can be? No. So therefore, what is my version of a successful week? And when I began to ask myself those questions, a lot of answers came around time and creativity and energy levels and interest in the world and what I wanted to do with my life. And so in the course, we build strong foundations, but truly from the ground up. We develop and reveal your income pie as we go. So even though there might be courses or offerings out there that might be like, just do these 3 things and you'll get everything you want, I'm not going to do those quick fix promises. But what I am going to do is to help you with a structure and give you lifetime access. So whenever you need this, if your personality, not maybe if your personality, but if your needs and wants change, if your circumstances don't allow for your current business model and you need to make a very quick shift, you're always going to have this. And more with my one-on-one clients, I'm really noticing that it's a practice of getting back into future planning. Because with all of the things that we've experienced over the last 3 years, nobody really planned. Nobody really thought ahead. And it was just day to day, week to week, because we couldn't go any further than that. We didn't know what was on the other side of this. And I think now that we're in 23 going into 24, people are beginning to dream again. And that's a really exciting place to be. And when I talk about dream, it doesn't necessarily have to mean like, a cruise or a closet full of designer shoes or a handbag. It doesn't have to be like the self-development version of life. It can be a clear schedule on a Friday afternoon so you can have a nap or read your book on the bed before you have to go and do the school run. It might be being able to do, remember in Sex and the City when they talk about their secret single behavior, where they describe like what they love to do. I want to know those things, because that's what makes a full life as well. Not just the business stuff. Like you can make money in so many different ways. But what we're looking for here is your version of success, of life and business, exactly on your terms. So if you're intrigued, if you want to find out more, do check out the link down below, and let's get cracking. Let's do this thing. And I'll see you next time. Bye.